everybody, it's me, Shay the Natural, coming to you today with a cooking tutorial. So today we're going to be doing spicy stuffed chicken with linguine and pesto. So I'm just going to show you the ingredients here. Good old mozzarella cheese, sliced. It's a lot easier, you can buy it that way. And I love this Nando sauce. They have all different heat preferences, so just choose yours. Coriander seasoning, this is ground coriander. Sea salt. For your pasta water, you don't necessarily need it on the chicken. Cajun seasoning, I like the perfect pinch. And good old pesto. Next time we'll make it from scratch, but this time we're taking it easy. So I'm going to start off, my chicken is already rinsed. Now I'm just cleaning it up a little bit so it'll make it more visually appealing. Just taking off some of that fat on the sides here and just extra chicken that was left over from the butchering. And I'm going to place a firm hand on the top of the chicken breast and insert a nice little slit on the side of each breast, just to give it a nice little pocket. So now we're just going to go ahead and speed through the rest of this. Once again, nice little pockets so you can stuff it as much as you like. Now we're going to move on. I already washed my hands before I went in for the mozzarella cheese. And I'm going to sit some aside so I don't have to keep going back and forth, and I don't want to do any cross-contamination. This makes it a lot more easier and accessible to just go ahead and stuff that chicken. Now I'm going to go ahead and rinse off the spinach. Even though the spinach is pre-rinsed and clean, you can never be too safe. Especially with all of this salmonella poisoning and everything running around. You just want to make sure that anything that you're using is nice and clean. So now that that's rinsed off, we're going to go ahead and put a nice generous amount, stems and all, into the chicken. So with this, you can go ahead, you can put as much spinach in here as you want because it is going to cook down and reduce while it's in the oven. So here, it looks like I'm putting a lot of spinach in, but once it finished cooking, I realized that I could have stuffed it a little bit more. But it's all on your preference, and I know my son, he's not too crazy about spinach, but as much as I can get into him, I'm happy. This step could have been avoided if I would have just gone ahead and bought some toothpicks, but I didn't realize how hard it was going to be to go ahead and cut these skewers or kebabs into little smaller pieces to close my chicken up. So if you want to avoid this step altogether, feel free, and I advise you to go ahead and just get some good old-fashioned toothpicks. Alright, now that that's done, we're going to go ahead and season it with the Cajun seasoning, the perfect pinch. And if you go into the store and you see the perfect pinch and you don't necessarily want to buy it like that, you can always just look at the ingredients that's the different type of seasoning that's in this Cajun seasoning and buy them separately, and you can put as much of each seasoning as you want on it. But this coriander, I just really like the ground coriander. I got it for some pho that I had actually made a while back, and I just love using it on different things, and this really brought a nice flavor to the chicken. Now, I didn't use any butter or olive oil because once you put the sauce on and the chicken starts to cook and the juices, its own natural juices and broth comes out of the chicken, you don't really need it. You don't have any sticking. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I bought 2 bottles of the Nando sauce, but I really only needed the 1. As you can see, I just poured that whole thing over the chicken. And you can also marinate the chicken breast overnight in this and then slice them open the next day and stuff them if you would like to do it that way. But this is pretty quick here. So as you can see, it has a nice color already to it. And then we're just gonna go ahead, take that and pop it into the oven. And voila! And they turned out so pretty. So they're nice and brown. I put this into the oven for about an hour and 35 minutes. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and drain my noodles. I know I didn't show you the whole noodle process, but it's just this box of noodles. And I put them in boiling water for about 10 minutes, and I'm just draining them. So you just wanna make sure you shake off all of that excess water, because you know when you put it back onto the stove, if it's any water left in there once you put it back on the eye, it's just gonna continue to cook the noodles, and then they'll get too soggy. You don't want soggy noodles, you want them nice and al dente. So just make sure you drain off that water. Take off as much as possible. Now I'm going to go ahead, I already have some noodles on my plate, and I'm just going to go ahead and take these skewers out of the chicken. You see that? Nice chicken breast, nice and stuffed. So when you're cutting your chicken breast, you can always cut them on an angle, or you can just cut it in half and let your guests cut it, or your family members cut it however they like. Here, I wish I would have used a sharper knife, because as you can see, the chicken starts to kind of crumble and break apart. And if my knife was a lot sharper, this could have been avoided. So you can serve this on a plate however you like. This is just my serving suggestion because I have kids, so they're not using the knife. So I just cut it up for them and put it onto the noodles. But you can also, just like I said, for more of a visual standpoint, you can just cut each breast in half so it can expose the cheese and the spinach inside of the chicken breast. But there you go, that's your meal, and you can just go ahead and put your pesto sauce on it. And voila, bon appetit! I hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like to see more videos of some nice little cooking tutorials, just let me know. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And if you would like to see how to make fresh pesto from scratch without buying this jar brand, just let me know in the comments below and we can go on that journey together. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and thank you for joining me.